Okay, and now we are in the Cathixis episode.
It's a whole episode. Yeah.
Dixis, you there?
Yep.
So, what are you up to? What are you doing? You guys just walked in, and
Yeah,
you ran. Say it again.
Yeah, I was following Addison.
Right. And if you remember last time, you definitely feel like you're being watched.
Yeah, I figured.
So you're following Addison. Is there anything in particular you're doing, or are you're just there with Addison?
Looking around a little bit, just seeing what's going on here. Just seeing if anything seems out of the ordinary. Since I feel like I'm being watched, I try to see who's watching, if it's that same guy or someone else.
Okay, so roll a perception check.
You mean my natural 17 isn't good enough?
Did you roll a natural 17 already?
No, that's his passive.
Yeah, I want you to actually roll. I'd say that's good enough. so you guys are Addison. So since he's following you around, you guys are walking over to the library, correct?
Yeah, I'm locked arms with Brunhild, and we're walking up. I'm having her lead me to the library.
Okay, so as you're walking up to the library, you're walking up the steps, and Cathixis, you see, as you're looking around, you sort of see a familiar face kind of peer out of the shadows in, like, say, a crevice in the wall, and then when you notice him, he takes notice of you noticing him, smiles, and then pulls back into the shadows again.
Okay,
He's a
this
creep.
is along the way to where Addison's going?
Yes. So as you're going up the stairs, it gets the lighting gets somewhat dimmer, and as the lighting gets dimmer, more shadows are present. So as more shadows are present, he peers out of one of those shadows, and you notice him, and then he pulls back into the shadow itself.
Okay. As I walk, am I gonna be going past those shadows, or do I kind of need to go out of my way to go wherever he?
Well, no, you would. Yeah, you were eventually going to walk past the shadows because it's in the crags of the rock that the steps are carved out of.
Okay. In that case, as we get up to there, I'm just gonna kind of peek in, and then if I don't see anything, I'll just keep going.
Yeah, you peek into the shadows and you just rock.
Alright, I'll keep going.
Okay. So you get to the library. So since you guys are all together, Addison, what are you doing?
I'm just kind of schmoozing with Brunhild, because she was saying how she's kind of like our valet, essentially. Like
Yeah. Yeah, she's your handler.
Yeah, so and she was saying, because last time she was saying that she got here just like a little bit before us, right?
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah.
she got there a little bit before you, and she said if you wanted help to do anything, that she's there to kind of help you. Now, do you specifically know what you're looking for?
Well, I don't, because I think last time we spoke, I was just like, I want to go to the library and like kind of read up on, because I'm not familiar with this area, so to read up on like the history of Moonvale and the relationships between like the Venera here.
Okay, so you're looking for a book on somewhat the history of Moonvale. Okay.
Yeah.
So go into the library and I guess just you can definitely look around through the bookshelves. there doesn't really seem to be somewhat of a librarian, but there are people around if you wish to ask one of them for help. Or you could just peruse the volumes yourself.
Does anybody seem particularly like bookish? Like, do I see someone who's sitting with like a bunch of books that looks like they might have been there for like a bit or might be more familiar?
No, you just see people the people that seem there all seem to be kind of like leisure reading. So like they're reading at their leisure. No one really seems to be studying per se at the current moment.
Okay, if everyone just seems like they're just kind of there, like hanging out, passing time, then I'm not going to care about any of them. I'm just going to go about searching the books, and I'll look to Brunhild and tell her, so I would like to try to find a book, the history of Moonvale, maybe something that has to do with politics.
Okay.
So.
Okay, dear. Hold on 1 second. So, give me a investigation check, and I will do one for her as well.
I got an 18.
I'd say that that's good enough.
Because I don't think I'm even trained in investigation.
Oh, she finds stuff too. Okay, so you find a book that seems to be almost exactly what you're looking for, called an annotated history of Moon. And Brynhild brings over a book called The Twilight Confederacy. And those are the two books that you find, and you can definitely like go through them, and I'll give you bits of information for like different roles. Like if you want to give me a series of 3 roles, and I'll tell you what you'll learn from the books.
Okay, what modifier should I use for?
Well, it would be investigation stuff. It would just be straight investigation, or if you want to do that would be like straight intelligence, right?
Yeah, which I mean, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
So what you learn initially, like, because you can definitely learn more if you keep the book on you, but at the current moment, what you learn is that at the very beginning of the book is kind of like somewhat of an origin story of why Moonvale is there in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to be somewhat connected to the birth of the Deathless.
Yeah.
Moonvale's existence seems to be somewhat connected to the birth of the Deathless. You read a story about a magical lab that is in the Nightlands that a group of magical scholars went to try and uncover the secret of the Venera's immortality. And they performed a series of magical experiments, and thus ended up basically not only blighting and cursing the land, but turning themselves into the first vampires. And Moonvale was a sort of first and last defense that was erected by a group of holy men.
So, question.
Yeah.
The Deathless are undead. Those are vampires.
The Deathless are undead, yes.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure, because I wasn't sure if the Deathless were like elves, kind of like how they are in Eberron.
No, the Deathless
Yeah, so the Venera are the like almost vampiric fae,
Right.
and then the Deathless are like intelligent undead.
Correct.
Okay, gotcha.
So, um, so Moonveil was erected as sort of a first and last line of defense to kind of protect people in the surrounding area before even there was an issue with the encroachment of the Venera. So that was Moonveil's initial mission, and eventually it just became a place where people traveling through the Twilight Lands could find a safe place to rest their heads, and a place, as well as a place to study the Nightlands from a safe distance.
So Moonvale, where it is in the Twilight Land, is it kind of like smack dab in between like the realm of the Deathless and the Venera in the Nightlands?
Not quite, not quite. So, you don't know you don't know the full extent of it at the
Okay.
moment, but not quite. So all you know from what you've read so far is that there's a lab that you would assume is not too far from here, which is where the Deathless were first born, so to speak. And Moonveil was erected protect to protect and watch over the areas of the Twilight Lands uh, from initially from vampiric incursion.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what you learn. And then Brynhild, what she learns is that the Twilight Confederacy is a loose grouping of city states, actually, along the along the Twilight Lands by where the Nightlands begin, and they all sort of work together to keep the predatory influences of the Nightlands in the Nightland.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple of places that she tells you about is the place that she's actually from, which is Nightwatch.
Mm-hmm.
There's Moonveil, and there are a couple of dwarven strongholds in the mountains to the south of where you are as well. As well as a set of halfling warrens in the sort of plains as well to the south. So all these different cities kind of form the Twilight Confederacy, and they all kind of keep in loose contact to work together to make sure the badness of the Nightlands stays in the Nightlands. So,
All right.
so these are all things that you learn as you're reading. The Veneer are taking our jobs. So, as you're reading, you feel as you're reading and talking with Brynhild, you feel a touch on your shoulder. Astrid. Oh my God, Addison.
Whoa, that's weird. That's
Yeah,
yourself.
That's very weird.
In a different universe.
You feel a touch on your shoulder, Addison.
Mm-hmm. I just like sort of like lazily like blink and turn my head to the side to look at them.
When you look up, you see Danny.
Syndra?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I just look at her. Oh, good evening.
Like, hello. I just wanted to apologize. For I know we only spoke briefly, but you seem to be very troubled by what I told you, and I didn't. I wanted you to know that I meant you no ill will in what I said. It was just an interesting coincidence. You don't hear of many Addison.
Well, there was no foul done. You didn't insult me in any way. You have no need to apologize. It's just there is definitive bad blood between he and I.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. He did seem like he came here to run away from something. Maybe that was what it was. I don't know, but he was very troubled when he was here. He's always such a troubled child. I never really knew how to help him.
Well, he doesn't even know how to help himself, so it's understandable that you, a complete stranger, wouldn't know how.
I tried all
Fucking
I
savage.
could in his mind, but nothing seemed to really work. And when I started to teach him the basic disciplines of my craft, all he really wanted was more and more power. When I refused to teach him the higher arts of my craft, he just kind of shut down.
And is that when he disappeared and left Moonvale?
He stayed around. He stayed around longer than that, but he shut me out. He kind of retreated into himself and started actually spending all of his time in the library, poring over many different journals on the histories of this land that we have here.
I pick up one of the books. I was like, you mean like these?
Yeah, but he specifically was looking at a volume. I forget, because he left it open the day he left. He just left it in the middle of the floor where he usually read, just open with an area circled on the page. Let me find the book. And she disappears into the library for a second. And when she comes back with a book called The Birth of the Deathless.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, I know it's in here somewhere. And she flips through the book, and she opens it to a page that has a sort of diagram on it, a sort of magical sigil.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, and next to it, it's a very detailed description of the ritual that the people used to become deathless used.
So it seems like he's trying to amass power, trying to become deathless, so that way he has more time to amass more power.
Well, I don't think so, because this book, this is a story. This is not an actual diagram of how to become a deathless. It's a fanciful interpretation of what people think may have happened.
Yeah, but I'm sure that there are little bits and pieces in it that have a ring of truth, and I'm sure that he'll grasp onto that, and he'll try to find more about.
Perhaps.
I just look at her. Is there anything else that I can do for you?
No, I just wanted to apologize.
Apology accepted.
Okay. So
and then I just turn away sharply and go back to reading.
Okay. Brynhild,
and she can visibly see I'm still pissed.
Yeah. And so Brynhild kind of giggles to herself and like, why did you treat the old lass like that?
Wait, what was that?
Why did you treat the old lass like that?
She's too good for her own sake. She asked my name, and she was telling me that a person from my past was actually here studying, and someone that I don't get along with anymore. And once she saw how upset I was, she felt that she's the one who caused that, and it has nothing to do with her.
Okay,
What was that?
okay, dear.
Did you find out anything else?
No. It just seems to be a description of the the Confederacy. Just seems to be a description of the Confederacy and different things they do to protect from the deathless at the current moment. But get back to me, and I'll tell you if there's anything. Cathixis, what are you up to?
I got bored of all that, so I just started wandering around.
Okay, where are you wandering?
You said there was a dojo area, right?
Yeah, directly above the library is the first dojo, which
Oh.
is heavily shadowed.
I'll head there.
Okay. So, what do? You go in and what?
I'll go in and just see what's going on, see if anyone's doing anything, if it's full, empty.
All right. You do have dark vision?
Yeah, I have perfect dark vision.
Okay. So, even though it's very shadowed, really well in here, you see multiple figures kind of sparring with each other in this darkness. And what you notice every once in a while is that some of them seem to be practicing jumping in and out of the shadows at each other. So, like, one will take a guarded stance, and then the other one will jump into a shadow, then jump out of a shadow to attack them from the other side. And then they will kind of switch positions and try the other way. Sort of like, seems almost like martial arts forms.
I observe with very intense interest.
So, you notice that you notice that you're being watched again.
I'll take a look around and see where.
If you turn directly behind you, Ovis is standing directly behind you.
Can I help you? Wait, is this the same guy that was peeking out of the shadows before, or no?
Yes,
Okay.
The shifter guy, right?
the shifter.
The Bill Murray guy.
The one definitely does not look.
Yeah. Yeah, shifter Bill Murray.
Sure. Wink, wink. He
fucking-
looks nothing like Bill Murray.
Yeah, just like our planet isn't called dirt.
I hate you guys.
The planet's actually called a.k.a. Wentuo, but it translates to dirt.
That could, oh man, that could kill everybody on dirt. All right, guys, it's time to save dirt.
So anyway, my super cool shifter guy is standing behind and looking at him intently. And you said to him, "Can I help you?"
And he says, "What about Bob?"
Man, why'd you shoot me? Oh wait, wrong movie.
I fucking hate all of you. He says, it seems from the interest in your face that I might be the one that could be able to help you.
Oh? How's that?
You seem to be interested in what my students are doing.
I am.
Would you like to learn how?
I would. What would I need to do?
Well,
Suck my dick.
oh my god.
Damn, Benny. Like, you just had to come out of nowhere with that, didn't you?
What?
That was Peter.
What?
Oh, it was Peter?
Yeah.
I see, Peter, the ventriloquism lessons are paying off.
Yes.
I'm hurt. I'm absolutely hurt.
Well, first I have to see what you know already. So, why don't you spar with me?
With you?
There's no one better here to spar with.
Okay.
Mm.
So he said, I just want to see. It's more a wise warrior is more. How to phrase this? A person fights with more than their body. They fight with their mind as well. A wise warrior knows a clever one knows how to turn that weakness into strength. Now let's see how clever you are.
Okay. How far in the room was I in?
That's up to you. You tell me.
It was like a massive open area as soon as I got walk up the stairs into this room.
Mm-hmm.
In that case, I would have been right next to the doorway, honestly.
Yep. So then that's where you are.
Okay. How large? I understand it's a large room, horizontally. Is it also a tall room vertically, or no?
Yes, it's relatively tall. Yeah.
In that case, surprise, motherfucker! I run up the wall. I use all my movement to run up the wall.
Okay.
Well, the battle's on.
Yeah, nope. That's not what happens.
All right. So basically, how this is going to work, because he's not trying to harm you physically, but he wants to see your skill level. So these are going to be a series of contested dex checks.
So me climbing up the wall actually didn't work.
No, that's fine. You can
Okay.
you can crawl up the wall. I'm just saying what is going to happen now in battle versus an actual real battle. Going to be a series of contested dex checks, and whoever succeeds dictates what happens.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So, give me your first one.
So it's all right. So not a dex save though.
It would be your I would say, what classes are you?
What isn't he?
Rogue, monk, warlock.
Okay, so you have proficiency in dex then,
Sure.
right?
Meow.
Yeah.
Well, because what was your first level in?
Very first level wasn't rogue.
Oh yeah, so you have intelligence and dex saving throw proficiency.
Right. So yeah. So do a yeah. So do it. So you.
Well, wouldn't it just be acrobatics then?
Yeah, you can use your acrobatics.
All right. That I can do.
Yeah, because that's just proficiency with.
Yeah, and if it's all dexy, flipping around and being all cool, parkouring, then acrobatics is what it's meant for.
Yep. So give me your first roll.
You got a 14.
Okay. So 1 second.
Let me know if that's a failure. I'll have a gift ready for it if it's a failure.
What is it? I'm trying to find his modifiers. Yeah, that's a failure.
All right, there you go.
20.
I was just about to post that one.
Okay, so what happens in this? What happens in this first round? He kind of watches you run up the wall, and doesn't seem very impressed with that, and he consequently jumps into a shadow behind him, comes out in the shadow next to you and knocks you down.
I fall onto the wall because I'm Spider-Man.
He knocks you down to the floor, and he takes you down to the floor with him.
But I'm a Spider-Man.
Yes,
You're not Spider-Man.
but he's taking you down to the floor, gently, so you don't hurt yourself.
Suck it.
Yeah, it sounds romantic.
Yeah, you basically, it almost feels like he comes out of the wall at you, and you feel a great deal of force behind him taking you off the wall, but you're surprised at how lightly you're laid down to the ground when you finally get to the ground. And then he jumps away from you, and he stands in a ready position, and he waits for your next move.
Okay. I'll go ahead and stab him with my wooden stake. No, Eldritch Blast, I suppose.
You have wooden stakes?
Yeah.
It's insane.
You don't?
He's a haunted one, so that's part of their package.
Oh.
They have like holy water and wooden stakes.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So, give me another dex check.
Yep.
Well, he's Eldritch Blasting, so wouldn't it be his mod?
But a duel is contested dex checks.
Oh, look at that.
Yep, you succeed.
Nice.
So you narrate what happened. Tell me.
Let's see if I can find a GIF really quickly. Nope, I can't. Damn it. So wait. You said he laid me down on the floor, right?
He laid you down on the floor and then jumped away and stood in a ready position, waiting for you.
Okay. So in that case, gonna do the cool martial arts flip off the ground onto my feet, and as I land, I'll crouch and shoot him in the face, basically with Eldritch Blast. There you go. I kip up, crouch, shoot him in the face.
Okay, so you hit him in the face with the Eldritch.
No, Bill Murray.
Oh, I hate you. And he kind of wipes his lip, and he shakes his head. He kind of wipes his lip and shakes his head, and he laughed. He said, "So you apparently don't know how to duel."
You said it's to see what I can do.
I wanted to see what your body can do. I any fancy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Why there's so many sexual terms in this session tonight?
You started it.
God,
I didn't start it. The dryad started it by wanting to suck your dick.
Oh my God!
I don't know, man.
I'm sorry, no. Eat your dick. That's what you wanted.
All of you.
Well, she was
Yes.
asking for consent.
I guess that's the safe way.
Yeah.
Are we gonna do this?
No, don't do it.
What that mouth do?
Alright then. So, shall I not use my abilities in that case?
I mean, do what you want, but I'm trying to test your body.
Okay. Sure. Alright. Alright, and let's go good old fisticuffs here. I'm just gonna, fisticuff him.
Okay, so give me your next dex roll.
So there's a fisting.
Yep.
Okay. Readiness intensifies.
I'm just watching it, and it's just making me laugh.
Okay, so You got a 17?
Yep.
All right. So he wins. He
I assume this was going to be me now. Oh, TM did something.
Oh, feed me Seymour.
Feed me all of that, dick.
So he succeeds, but actually not by much. So he basically he rushes you, and you almost manage to use his weight against him to throw him over your shoulder, but he somehow manages to compensate and then slam you to the ground. And then he steps back, and he says, and he steps back into a ready position. And he says, "That was good. You're learning." Again.
All right, I'll go at him.
You fuck him up, Cathixis.
Yeah, let's give it another shot.
Nat 20.
If only. Close enough.
That's pretty damn good.
Wait, what was it? Where'd it go? Oh,
23.
Okay. All right. Wow. Oh, he got a 1.
Were you not expecting that?
He got a 1.
I wasn't expecting him getting a 1.
In that case, I have some. This is what happens here.
Yeah.
I tell him to come towards me now.
I love that scene.
Great. So you kind of what? So you knock him back?
Yeah.
Knock him back. Basically, what that gives us. So you kind of get into this sort of fisticuffs moment, and then you push him back in the middle of his chest and knock him square back. Put one hand behind your back, and with the other hand gesture for him to come towards you.
Yep.
So at this point, you notice all of his students have kind of started to form a circle around you guys and are watching. Some of them are quite shocked.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love how Mr. Miyagi is watching Bill Murray fight.
Give me one more.
One more? Okay. Come on, that 20.
Bill Murray.
Hey, another 23.
Oh, crap. You're fucking it up, man. Bill Murray's going down, man. Furry Bill Murray.
Well, thank goodness he doesn't have an aura of trickery.
Bill Murray is not going down this time.
Wouldn't it be Bill Furry?
Bill Furry, yeah.
Oh my god.
Hey-oo.
So the shifter that is not Bill Murray.
Yeah, the shifter who is Bill Furry.
The shifter totally not either of those things. Got a natural 20.
Oh, did he?
Yes, he did.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
Oh, but that's a good fight, then.
Yeah.
So he basically breathes in, and as he breathes in, the shadows in the room seem to deepen and then lighten again. And he charges you with a speed that you're shocked he has, and basically gives you a flurry of blows straight to your chest. But that flurry of blows, even though he's striking true on each one, you seem to be almost deflecting them. And he's very impressed by this, that you're actually able to keep up with how fast his hands are moving. And in one last effort, he pushes you in the chest to knock you back the same way you knocked him back. Whereas you knocked him back a couple of feet, he knocks you clear across the room with that one hit.
I enter the shadows.
He knocks you clear across the room with that one hit. And when he does, comes back to his ready position, puts his hand in his puts one hand straight and one hand in a fist, and he bows to you.
I'll go ahead and bow to him.
He says to you, "That was excellent. You seem like you would do well to learn the way of shadows."
I would like to learn.
So he would like to take you on. I'd like to take you on as an apprentice for as long as you're here. If you,
I like the sound of that. Okay.
so he's going to basically take you to. He's going to take you to one of the practice mats, and he's going to start teaching you.
No, so we're not shaking hands? Okay, good.
Say it again.
No, nothing.
Oh, you want to shake hands?
No, it's fine.
Oh, okay.
That's, unless he really wants to.
Yeah, that's not loaded at all.
He's gonna take you to one of the mats and start teaching you some martial arts forms.
Okay.
Yeah, some moves.
Do the moves, oh yeah.
So now back to Daergram and Ozone.
Mm-hmm.
What are you guys up to?
Well, unless I know Daergram said he was done there, and so I for Ozone too. So I was just gonna, after eating, I'm thinking we have a little bit of a little bit of the itis. I'm not sure. How do you feel, Doc? Pretty stuffed.
Yeah, like we didn't eat a lot, but like who knows when the next time we get to eat like this? Maybe we should save some of it.
My God.
What do you mean, like hide it under your bed?
No, it might go bad. We should definitely find a pantry.
Oh, you're talking about like raiding their pantry?
No, not raiding their panties. Their pantry.
Pantry raid.
I mean, I wouldn't really want to steal or anything like that. Maybe we should ask first. We should ask where it is. See where
Yeah,
it leads.
isn't your character lawful good?
Mine is not.
Could
Oh,
you
yeah,
come
doctor.
to alignment again?
I am lawful hungry, okay?
Well, even if you're lawful hungry, doesn't that mean you have to follow the rules of eating?
Yeah, meaning food goes in mouth, chew, and then swallow.
Yeah, but then if there is no more food to be given to you, you don't steal food. That would be chaotic food.
The goddess, by the way, is the goddess of pacifism. And she's not going to take too kindly to you always trying to steal from people.
I'm not trying to steal from anybody, except for the pantry.
Oh my God.
Oh, he's going for like the fallen cleric. that archetype.
Isn't a fallen cleric essentially just like an NPC?
Yeah, pretty much.
Help, he's fallen, he can't get back up.
See.
How about this? Where would you like us to plot go?
Well, that's not the thing. He's asking what you want to do.
I'm done for anything at the moment. That's why I'm asking about plot.
No, plot is fine. You're doing fine for the plot. Just watch your alignment.
Yo, watch your alignment, B.
Well, yeah, because you can kind of do whatever you want when you're a wizard or whatever, but when you're a paladin or a cleric, you have to be a little bit more mindful of it.
Especially if you chose lawful good.
Stop being a fucking thief. Thief.
Lawful good,
Yeah,
not
so-
lawful nice.
Oh my God.
Hey,
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Right.
I still carry around a giant hammer. You know,
But what does you carrying around a giant hammer have to do with you stealing, which is intrinsically wrong?
is it wrong?
Yeah, because you're not stealing
Yes.
from
You're
bad
stealing-
people. You're stealing from the people who took you in, who are giving you free food.
Yeah.
So is it really stealing if it's free?
If you're going into their pantry and breaking into stuff, yeah, that's stealing.
Rather than asking, yes.
Fine. Okay. How about? Honestly, I don't know what I should be doing next. To be honest with you.
So
Ozone,
stealing food was your go-to. Okay.
So, what are you doing? I can't.
Better
Yeah,
than
so-
raping little children.
Yeah. Well. So yeah, Ozone's like.
So let's go with raid the pit. So you want to go downstairs?
Yeah. Well, like Ozone was just gonna at least ask, like, if it's okay to just take some food for any, if we have to travel, just take some extra something, just in case.
Okay.
They're
Alright.
called provisions, right?
Yeah, we'll see if they have any trail mix or something like that.
I love
know?
trail
Yeah.
mix.
Yeah.
I know you do.
Cold oats.
All right. So you're going downstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go back. I guess I'm assuming it's gonna be near where that the food hall is, at least for around there somewhere. So we'll start there.
All right. So you're going down to the and give me perception checks as you enter the food.
The tension builds. Will Ozone roll above a 10?
Oh,
No.
He rolled exactly a 10. Yay.
Okay.
You're doing so good.
We did good.
All right. So Ozone, you notice a room full of people. You notice a room full of people of all different races. You notice that there is a group of dwarves, a group of half elves. There are humans, halflings, gnomes, all different types of people. And give me one more perception check, Ozone.
It's not gonna matter. Oh, there you go. I broke the glass ceiling.
Okay. All I was looking for. So, in the group of dwarves, you notice one of them is wearing a symbol that looks familiar. The symbol looks like the symbol that is on that Daergram.
Oh. Hey, Doc. I
Yeah.
think these guys have the same kind of symbol you do. Maybe you know them. You could talk to them, maybe.
Is it the onyx octagon thingy or that ring with the gemstone? Which one was it?
Oh, it's no. It's like, aren't you wearing like a tabard of some sort?
I don't even know what a tabard is.
Oof. You're not a WoW player.
I'm not.
Yeah. Tabard's like a cloth that you cover up the front. Like if you ever see any clerics in anything like fantasy, it's usually like a cloth that's
Yeah, yeah, like when they usually have like the material over the armor, and it's usually to show like your allegiance to like whoever like your lord or kingdom or your deity is.
Oh, I have a holy symbol on my shield.
Well, yeah. I'm assuming that the symbol that you would have would be the symbol of, like, remember that symbol that I told you about in the very first session we had? That
He won't remember.
I remember hearing about one, how it looks like, or I don't remember that.
Well, not necessarily how it looks, but that there's a symbol that's kind of like the universal symbol of the gods.
Okay,
And
yeah.
it's usually a symbol that means healing can be found here.
Okay.
Okay, so that symbol. So that symbol is what one of these dwarves has.
So it's another cleric?
You don't know. You just know the person happens to have this symbol hanging around.
Hey, Ozone?
Yeah.
That dude has a very similar symbol like mine.
Yeah. Check them out. Like Maybe they'll know something.
Why don't you give an investigation check, or either that, or go introduce, or go closer to the person and do a perception?
You're better at talking to people. Maybe you should do it.
Oh,
No,
you need like an icebreaker.
To do it, Daergram.
But Daergram is shy.
Daergram has social anxieties.
Investigation.
Crippling.
Crippling social anxiety.
No, that's fine. You don't have to go up and speak to them.
Ralph needs to stop playing himself in every, except for the game where he's supposed to be playing himself.
Ralph,
Got a 6.
thank God there have been no battles. Is all I can say.
Yeah, because we've been fucking up these rolls.
Oh my God.
Krzysztof was the only one rolling high, I think.
Yeah.
That's average.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So yeah, so this person does, like, you don't have no idea who this is. So Ozone, you gonna point on this?
I'll try to break the ice, I guess. I have no idea who these people are, right? But I can tell that the doc is a little a little afraid to talk.
Uneasy.
Yeah. But come on, man, let's check it out. And so like I'll sort of like put my hand on his back to sort of help push him forward a little bit. It's like,
have you met Dr. Daergram?
like, hey guys, and I'll wave.
So the first dwarf, the one with the around his neck, kind of like looks up, because like they were all sitting at the table drinking, like drinking with each other. It was a dwarven female with 2 younger dwarves, younger but not children, as well as a dwarven male, all sitting together, drinking together. And the dwarven child, the dwarven youth,
young adult.
The young adult is the one with the symbol around his neck.
Oh, okay. And so he's the only one that has the symbol that I was able to correlate, right?
Right.
Okay. All right.
The other ones, everyone here is just kind of wearing their kind of like normal lay clothes. He just happens to have a necklace that looks like.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, this pendant looks familiar.
All right, so I'll go towards him more than anything, and I was like, hey, how are you? I noticed you and my friend have the same kind of symbol.
So he kind of like looks up at you and he's like, oh, hi, how are you? Oh.
I wave.
Daergram.
Oh, you know each other.
God, you're alive.
I mean, yeah.
How
do you know me?
He runs up to you and he hugs you.
Oh, hi to you too.
When he hugs you, the other 3 kind of look to see what the commotion is, and when they see you, Daergram, they kind of all rush around you, kind of like almost pushing Ozone out of the way, so to speak. Get to him and just like kind of hug him, and they start jumping up and down, and it's this big raucous dwarven celebration of love and tenderness that's happening, with Daergram very awkwardly in the center.
How do you guys know me?
Daergram, don't you remember us?
No.
We're from your hometown.
That was destroyed. It's not very funny.
I'm not laughing. We know it was destroyed. It was destroyed after you left.
Yeah,
but
everyone was dead.
Obviously not. We're here.
How did you guys make it out?
Well, this is the youth talking. It's like our father. He basically sacrificed himself to the Venera and created a distraction so that the rest of us could get away.
What was your father's name?
Angstrom.
Hold on a sec.
Name was shut the fuck up and don't ask questions.
His name
Oh,
was
definitely writing
Do
that
I?
down.
Does a 23 make me remember that guy's name?
You definitely know who he is.
Okay.
He was a colleague of yours.
Oh, oh.
And when you recognize the necklace around the boy's neck. It's his father's necklace.
So he. Oh no.
But it's through his sacrifice that we're here. We're just so glad to see that you're alive. What happened to your voice?
Well, after I saw that no one was alive, I felt like a failure, and then I tried to take my life, but it didn't work out so well. I drank some poison, but you know us dwarves, we're really good with that.
Oh,
I don't know if that's Peter laughing or the character laughing.
that was me laughing. I'm sorry.
That's a dicky dwarf to be laughing at you.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you took poison, you fucking idiot.
Tried to commit suicide by drinking yourself to death? Rookie move.
Not for a dwarf.
Oh my god. Oh, well, I'm really sorry that you did that. If only my father was still here, he probably would have known how to heal your voice.
It's okay. I've gotten used to it over the years.
I guess it kind of grows on you.
Well, there's not much growing for us anymore. Our village is gone. There's no one left. But you guys are here. Did anyone else make it out?
Yes, my grandfather made it out. Now roll. I mean, you would know who the grandfather was if you knew who the father was. So the grandfather was a sort of lore master. In the town that you were from.
Okay.
So he was in 5e terms was a very accomplished lord. And he helped both you and Angstrom kind of he helped augment your abilities where the divine arts would not work in certain forms of healing. He would help out with the arcane side of. So you guys all kind of worked together, and he was sort of the leader of the town, so to speak, and he got away as the patriarch of the family, and he got away as the patriarch of the family. Came back. So yeah, he came here, but he's not here anymore.
Oh, well, it's good to know that there's more of us still around. But
Yeah.
why are you specifically here? Were you called upon here?
Well, no, we came here because it was a safe place in the Twilight Lands to kind of, for refugees to go. And when we came here, grandfather found work here, helping out with the various research projects they have going on, studying the Nightlands, and he actually a few weeks ago went out on a mission into the Nightlands, and he hasn't come back yet.
Well, wait a minute. Earlier today, someone told me about the Nightlands and how they're not safe and how we shouldn't go there.
Yes, he went. Anyway.
Your grandfather went.
Yes.
I mean, he's an old man.
He's old, but he's powerful, but I'm still worried about him. He was telling us about where he was going, and it wasn't really sure he should, but he didn't listen. He never listened to me.
Maybe we should go find him.
You just got here. You really should rest.
No, we need to find the rest of the village if we can. It saddens me to know that I still could save someone from our village.
He's been gone a couple of weeks, dear.
No, there's still hope.
There is still hope, but waiting one more night just so you can rest and recuperate it's going to be okay if you do that.
I guess you're right. I'm feeling about 25%-ish.
Ozone will tap the doc on the shoulder. Ask him where they went.
Yeah. Could you at least point us in the right direction? Do you have a map or anything?
He was... I don't know. There's
You and trying to get a fucking map.
Hey man, that's just good. That's just good roleplay.
It's not. That's really good metagaming.
How is that metagaming? You get maps in all kinds of games.
He was telling me about the place he went, but I don't know about a map. I could tell you the place he was going, and then you could maybe ask the weird guy in the observatory. He's
talking about Ganymede.
He's always writing stuff down on that map. Grandfather was always working with him, so he would probably know where he went if I told you about the place, right?
Well, I spoke to him earlier today. I mean, I guess he might have some new information now that I went up to him again and pressed the action button.
I knew that was coming.
Of course.
So,
The action button.
yeah, he said he was going to this. Sort of this like cursed lab. I don't know. He didn't tell me much about it. Anytime I asked him about it, he got very quiet and got this haunted look on his face.
He's an adventurer?
Say it again?
He's an adventurer?
Their grandfather?
No, Ganymede.
No, I'm saying this is what the grandfather
Oh,
told
okay.
where he was going. The grandfather told them that he's going to a lab, that he was going to a cursed lab.
That doesn't sound good.
There was this sort of cursed lab in the woods, and this is the place. And this is the place where he was. And this is the place where he was going. It was like a cursed lab in the Nightlands. Didn't tell him much about it. He didn't tell them much about it, other than that horrible things happened there, and he didn't want to talk about it with them. But they do know that Ganymede would probably know where the lab was.
Let's go get the info from Ganymede.
You're right, Ozone. It's the best bet we got at the moment. Would you like to come with us then?
Well, why don't listen? Instead of going off on a mission, why don't you sit down and enjoy some time with us? We haven't seen you in forever. Sit, have a drink with us, and then you can go and find Ganymede. Just please, we haven't seen you in so long.
I guess if you want me to stay, I mean, I just worry about him. I worry about all of you. I dream about you guys.
Because that's not creepy.
It's not. The nightmares fuel my fury.
So they all sit down, and so they all sit back down, and they pour you some more. They pour you some dwarven ale. are you going to introduce Ozone at any point in time during this conversation, or is he just going to stand there?
I was in the assumption that Ozone is charismatic enough to introduce himself into this conversation.
As the sort of repartee was going on there, Ozone actually took the opportunity to sort of sneak away a tiny bit, assuming that Dr. Daergram had enough ins to continue on his own there.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah. So I was gonna go just I was just gonna go and maybe look for Addison and the rest of the guys just to see what they were up to. And
Okay.
just maybe because after hearing what I was hearing there, just to update them and let them know maybe.
Oh yeah, and you knew that we were going.
Okay,
Yeah. So
cool.
and the library was the first floor up, right?
Correct.
Like, yeah. So yeah, I'll just sneak away a little bit and step out and go to the library, look for Addison.
Let Dr. Daergram have his RP moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you go up to
Should we stop it there and restart like a new episode?